Hey Neff, Billy here. I love how you can screw things up so badly, and how you think you're the expert of all knowledge in the Bible. But again, you're wrong! You're wrong! Isn't that cute? But it's wrong! That's right, Neff. Not only is same-sex marriages not as critical as you think in the Bible, there are more references to lying than there is to same sex, but there are three instances in the Bible where great Jewish leaders, which would have been Christian leaders if Jesus had come earlier, had engaged in such acts. We'll start with Ruth and Naomi. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates us. Yeah, see, it's kind of interesting there because it says, la-di-da-da, that she's willing to die beside Naomi. Kind of more than a mother-daughter relationship there. I mean, I'm not going to die when my dad dies. I love him and everything, but that ain't going to happen. Um, yeah, let's go back. This was in another, also in Ruth 1.14, Ruth clave unto her. Clave is identical to the term of heterosexual marriage in Genesis 2.24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and shall be of one flesh. Okay, so, yeah. Next. You know what? I'm going to save the best for last. The one that has the most data for it. We're going to go with Daniel and Aspina. Yeah. Now, God had brought Daniel in favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. Yeah, do you know what eunuchs are? Probably not, but they're guys without, yeah. And loving kindness. Yeah, kindness instead of friendship, loving kindness, yeah. Uh, hmm. Okay, we could, that's kind of, that's not 100% conclusive, I'll give you that. But anyway, it breaks our ground for the final one, the one that's beyond any reproach. You're a great leader, great great grandfather of Jesus, and first king of Israel, the one, well, second king of Israel, the one, the only, Lord David who slayed Goliath. Uh-huh. Jonathan became one spirit with David and loved him as himself. Yeah, loved him in one spirit, yeah. The soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Yeah, you do realize that the only time that two become one is through marriage. So, yeah. But it keeps going. This is fun. From that day, Saul kept David with him and did not let him return to his father's house. Yeah, especially since it said earlier that a man will leave his mother and his father and cleave to his wife. Yeah, following marriage rituals right there. And Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself. Jonathan took off the robe he was wearing and gave it to David, along with his tunic and even the sword, his bow and belt. So that was a signal that Jonathan gave everything he owned to David. Another ritual thingy for marriage. Oh, and Jonathan would have been naked at that time. Now, I should have read the verses. Let's go back a little bit. We started with Saul 18:1. Then we go to 18:2, 18:3 and 4. 18:20 and 21 is where I'm at right now. Now Saul's daughter Michal was in love with David, and when they told Saul about it, he was pleased. I will give her to him, he thought, so that she may be a snare to him, and so that the hands of the Philistine may be great against him. Now you have a second opportunity to become my son-in-law? A son-in-law twice? Ah, but who did he marry before? Well, we only have one person he married before, and that would have been Jonathan. Thank you very much. But we're not done yet. Saul 20.41. After the boys had gone, David got up from the south side of the stone and bowed down before Jonathan 3 times with his face on the ground. Then they kissed each other and wept together. But David wept the most. Yeah, it's kind of hard disputing facts here. I'm reading directly from the Bible. But, the NIV is kind of, we can't use that. So we'll go with the King James Version. And they kissed one another and wept with one another until David exceeded. Okay, yeah. And finally, the nail in the coffin, I hope. 2 Saul 1.26. I grieve for you, Jonathan, my brother. You were very dear to me. Your love for me was wonderful, more wonderful than that of a woman. Yeah. I think we have a wiener here. I don't know how you could debate that David and Jonathan were not in a relationship, and that Saul was a happy father-in-law. So I'm waiting for a reply, Nephilim. I'm glad I get to have this talk, because for a second there I thought the New World Order would have to run you over. But just when we think you've hit the bottom of stupidity, you get a shovel. This is eBilly99, signing out.